Today I'm going to show you why women have a deep down love, appreciation, and respect for men who will routinely cheat on them as well as lie to them. So that means today I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Instead, what I'm here to do is show you how you can actually use this inside information to have the leverage inside of your relationships with the women that you actually want the most. So stay with me until the end of this because it is going to be extremely powerful. But let's dive into today's presentation. Now, you might hear the title of this and you go, women love men who cheat and lie to them. You might think that that's bad. You might think that that's evil. Okay, I don't really care because this is the cold hard truth that every single guy watching this needs to accept. This will apply to women who you classify as good girls. I don't care where she grew up. I don't care if she comes from a two-parent household. You have to understand this first and foremost. Women thrive off of constant drama and toxicity 24/7. The man who brings this into her life is typically the man that she sticks with and the man that she does not put through hell and the man that she also wants on an emotional level and a sexual level. Good news for you, if you're actually man enough and strong enough to accept these truths, you can use these to your advantage instead of your disadvantage by turning a blind eye to it like most guys do. So women thrive off constant drama and toxicity 24/7. This fact alone, okay, is why they have zero respect for committed men. When I say committed men, okay, as soon as you enter into a monogamous commitment with a woman where you say, baby, baby, you're mine, and you're hoping she says, baby, baby, I'm yours, and now you guys are in a relationship, and now all of a sudden you're expected to be a boyfriend or one day a husband, the reason why they do not respect these men is because the tension is now relieved. Okay, this tension right here, I put this underlined in red because it's that important. This tension is what creates not only sexual chemistry, but this tension is required to consistently keep a woman in love. The second that this tension is relieved, it is impossible for her to continuously maintain the attachment towards you that I know that you're wanting. See, you're wanting a woman's love, you're wanting a woman's respect, you're wanting a woman's loyalty, and most importantly, you're wanting a woman's cooperation and compliance into your frame. The only way to do that is if there is that constant tension where she's wondering where you stand. So here's what you have to understand. Women on all levels, their thirst for emotion, like their constant thirst for emotion, this thirst can never be quenched. Okay? It never ends. Their thirst for emotion never ends. This is why they are constantly glued to specific drama and TV shows. Okay? The music that they listen to, the fairy tale love stories and the books that they read, okay, the gossip as they want to go get brunch with their girlfriends, the TikToks that they're watching, the YouTube shorts that they're watching, the Instagram reels that they're watching. This is a consistent quest for emotion. This emotion makes them feel something. The reason why they need to feel something is because women today don't need men. Women are very self-sufficient. The only thing that is left is for them to find the alpha that will actually stimulate their emotions on a deep down primal level. You have to understand this because there's no getting around it. I don't care if you're 6'5" and drive a Bentley and have six-pack abs and make $20 million a month. You are not immune to this. You're going to have to accept these truths. Women will do anything for drama and a feeling. So here's what you got to understand. Some of you, I get a lot of guys in the comment section, you say, well, Casey, how do I have this family that I'm wanting? Casey, how do I have a great relationship? You know what? So are you saying I can't ever love a woman? Okay, I'm gonna read this word for word slowly so you actually understand what I'm putting down. There is no way around this. Even her gaining commitment from the highest value man will decrease desire. One more time. Even her gaining commitment from the highest value man, meaning the guy with the celebrity status. I want you to think the Leonardo DiCaprios, the Brad Pitts, the Chris Browns, the Drakes. Okay? Commitment from this man, even commitment from the highest value, highest status, most pre-selected guy where women would do anything for a date with them. Okay? Even commitment from this guy is going to decrease her desire. There is no way around it. If you're wanting a relationship, here's what you're going to have to understand. You are willingly entering into a situation where you are trading, okay, not only potential sexual satisfaction and urgency to see you, you're going to be trading that for security and having potential companionship or just somebody to be by your side so you're not lonely. That's the trade-off. Getting those two things to coexist and actually make sense is virtually impossible because women don't operate that way. So when you commit to a woman, it signals a couple things. The first thing that it signals, and the reason why this is the biggest reason why the desire decreases, the first thing that it signals is it subconsciously says, yes, my dear, you're good enough. Yes, baby, you're good enough. Yes, you're good enough. When you say, yes, you're good enough, what happens is you now lose your pre-selection status. Well, how do you lose your pre-selection status? By you committing to one specific woman, what that does is it reveals your SMV, your sexual market value. Once your sexual market value is now revealed, you've displayed where you are on the hierarchy of dating. Okay, what this is going to do is this is going to actually signal to hypergamy that you are now at a fit where she's at, and then what will happen is she will stop looking up at you, and she's going to eventually start to look down on you. The reason why this is bad is because this kills desire. So what tends to happen is when guys enter into these relationships, okay, the urgency to keep you pleased and satisfied drops significantly. And it doesn't drop because she's willingly trying to be evil. It doesn't drop because she's willingly trying to be mean to you and have malicious intent. The urgency to keep you pleased and satisfied drops because she doesn't like you as much anymore. Like, she actually doesn't like you. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, Casey, what do you mean she doesn't like me? I have a great personality. We've spent all this time together. Those things are irrelevant. A woman does not love, feel love, or operate the lens of love in the same way that you're expecting her to. This is why women respect men who oftentimes cheat on them, lie to them, and are very manipulative. And I'm going to show you on this whiteboard. This is going to be one of the best presentations I've ever created, okay? What you're going to see is that you closing off all other options signals, okay, emotional attachment to her. As soon as you signal emotional attachment to a woman, you look weak, you look needy, and you look pleasing. What it's saying is, baby, I need you, therefore I'm committed to you to hopefully ensure that you stay loyal to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off sexual access to all of my other options in hopes of your sexual loyalty. Unfortunately, this is not how women work. This is how it makes sense in your male brain because you're logical. However, this is not what actually makes sense emotionally in her heart. They are two different wavelengths, and you can't compare them. Closing off all other options that you would have had sexually does not increase her desire sexually for you. If anything, it decreases it, okay? Now, this brings no sexual desire because this is only created through tension. What did I tell you up here? The reason why women have zero respect for committed men is because the tension is relieved. As soon as you relieve that tension, you're screwed. So, women need their emotions ran through hell to stay stimulated, and they need them ran through hell so that way they stay attached. I'm talking, she wants them ran through hell. She may not tell you this, but she wants to wake up. When she wakes up in the morning, she wants it to be where you are the first thing that she thinks about. When she goes to bed at night, she wants it to be where you are the last thing that she thinks about going to bed. And all day, she wants to be sitting there wondering where you stand with her. Now, you might be saying, well, why would she want to get ran through that emotionally? Because a woman wants to feel something, and most guys make them feel nothing. What you have to do to accept these truths on the deepest level, you guys, you have to erase all social programming regarding being nice and regarding finding mutual love. The element or the idea or the aspect of mutual love doesn't exist. Meaning, I'm going to like her, she's going to like me, there's going to be no drama, no rocks in the boat. Okay, the waves are going to not come crashing down on us. We're going to eat Hershey's Kisses and skip in the park. This doesn't exist. The element of mutual love doesn't exist. As soon as things get boring right here, where both people are on the exact same spot, they both like each other, both people are going smooth, what will happen is women need to throw a curveball in that and create drama. The reason why they don't do this with the bad boy or with the guy who cheats on them is because he is creating the necessary drama needed to keep her emotions stimulated without her asking. So women, what you'll notice if you get into a relationship, women will pull back, women will create arguments, and women will create situations that disrupt the cohesion and the stability that you guys had out of thin air just to fuck with you. I'm going to say that again. Women will pull back and they will try to start drama just to fuck with you. She wakes up that day and she says, how can I fuck with this guy today because I'm so bored of looking at him. I don't care how he looks. I don't care if he's 6'5". I'm bored of talking to the same guy. I need some drama in my life. She's sitting there going, damn, I need some tension. I need to feel something like this is the next episode of some sitcom that I'm watching. She needs to feel. I didn't make them this way. You can hate me all you want. I'm just the one who's telling you the truth of how it is when you date these women, okay? Everything that the bad boy gives her, that drama, that toxicity, that experience, everything the bad boy gives and why she loves it, I will show you step by step. The first thing that the bad boy gives is hardcore mystery. When I say hardcore mystery, she has no idea if she's coming or if she's going. She has no idea if he's going to find a hotter girl. She has no idea if he even likes her. He provides mystery to the point where she doesn't know if he's flying off to the Bahamas or the Dominican Republic this week. She has no idea if he's staying in town. She has no idea if he's going to a rock concert. She has no idea if he's going to be with a different girl. She has no idea. This keeps her emotions stimulated. So while you are the nice guy wondering about all of the other options in her inbox, she could have 1,000 options in her inbox, and she leaves these guys on red and doesn't even open them because her heart is in one specific place. When women fall in love with a specific man, it is virtually impossible for them to fall back from him when he's doing everything right. You have to understand this. The first thing, okay, that the bad boy or that the asshole or that the guy who is willing to cheat and lie and do whatever the fuck he wants gives a woman is mystery. This mystery creates intrigue. That intrigue lets her emotions become stimulated, okay? The second thing that the bad boy gives is a feeling. The feeling that he gives that woman is a feeling of, why am I not good enough? This is the question that she needs to ask herself. She needs to ask herself, why am I not good enough? Why won't he commit to me? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not pleasing enough? Am I not good enough of a cook? Do I not give him enough care? Did I not give him a good enough back massage? These are the questions she has to ask herself. Once again, if she doesn't ask herself this shit, she will not fall in love with you. This is the stuff that she has to ask herself. So if you guys were to get into a relationship ever down the road, she feels like she had to win you over. She wants to feel like she won you over out of all of the other women that you could have potentially selected, that you selected her. This is what she wants to feel. So when you give her this feeling of, why am I not good enough? Okay, this is the only way that they can actually fall in love. You can't ignore this. You have to sit in this. You have to marinate in this. You have to let it come true, because this is true on all levels. Next, the bad boy, okay, or the guy who actually runs their emotions through hell, creates competition anxiety. What is competition anxiety? Competition anxiety is when she has to worry about the other women who are actually after your attention. So competition anxiety equals other women are now after his time, after his attention, after his resources, and after his care. Well, she's going to sit there and go, well, maybe I should be too. If all these other women are after his time, attention, resources, and care, his attention, his time must be more valuable. Notice, I said nothing. She's going to sit there and go, he must be higher value. He must be more valuable. There's something about him. Maybe it's his personality. Maybe it's that he is charismatic. Maybe it's that it doesn't matter what the reason is. If other women are after him, there's obviously a reason. She wants to be part of that reason. Notice, that is what signals high sexual market value. That is what triggers pre-selection. That is what a woman looks like to satisfy her hypergamous instinct. It is not money. Yeah, this guy can make $5,000 a month, or this guy can make $50 million a month. Doesn't matter. The fact that other women are pining for his attention and wanting him is the only thing that she cares about. Your sexual market value is not how you're looked at in the eyes of other men. It is not about if you're on your self-improvement grind. It is not about if you can hit a bench press PR. It is not about if you drive a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. It is not about if you have a house in the Hollywood Hills. It is about how other women perceive you. If you live in your mom's basement that smells like Doritos, but you have model quality women lining up night and day to see you, you better believe that other women are going to be coming back to that same spot to sleep with that guy. That is how women work. Once again, you can choose all you want to bitch and moan and complain about the game, but I didn't make the rules. I'm just explaining to you what actually happens. Next, okay? The reason why the woman loves this type of guy is because this is high sexual market value, not the money and not the status that I just talked about, okay? There's plenty of men with a Lambo who sleep all by themselves at night. There are plenty of men with $1 million who sleep all by themselves at night. There's plenty of men who have all of these materialistic, status-driven metrics that you were told by every single guru on the internet signals high value. And I'm here to tell you that women don't give one single fuck. They don't care at all. All they care about is how you are perceived in the eyes of other women. This is why women love men who cheat and lie to them. This is why women love men who have access and ability and capability to generate other options and will even willingly exercise those options and put his sexual selectivity first over her emotions. Wow, look at how alpha that is. That guy was willing to do what is best for him and go have fun on his own terms more than he is sitting there pandering to my ass and my emotions. That is something a woman doesn't actually have the opportunity to feel in today's day and age. That is something that she'd love to feel. That's something that every woman would love to feel, but they can't find it. By me giving you this information, I'm giving you inside access to make sure that you have the ability to generate far more options than 99% of men. Next, okay? This is what, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the what if factor. So this what if factor, okay, creates mental stimulation and sexual fantasy towards a man. What is the what if factor? The what if factor is what a woman says in her brain 24/7 to know where you stand. So the what if factor is, what if he commits one day? What if he's out cheating? What if he's out at a friend's house and he meets a different girl? what if he's doing something that I wouldn't want him to be doing? What if he's texting that other girl? What if he is, whatever the case may be, at that house party, at that bar, at that nightclub? What if? This what if factor is the only thing that creates sexual fantasy, sexual stimulation, and emotional pull towards a man. See, women, here's what you gotta understand. Women's arousal is created through mental emotion only. Okay, this is the thing that the bad boy brings. When I tell you a woman's arousal is created through mental stimulation, mental fantasy, emotional stimulation, and emotional fantasy, these are things you have to internalize because they are far less visual and less physical than men. Okay, when men think of sexual fantasy, or when men think of anything that is arousing, it's going to stem into shape and beauty and feel and touch. For women, it's much more mental. Okay, this what if factor creates the tension that she needs to develop urgency and fear of missing out on getting that guy's time. If you cannot create urgency around your time is limited, your time is valuable, and your time is important. Therefore, it is in that woman's best interest to not only see you, but to get her shit together, put you up high on the priority list, and see you right now. No, we'll see. No, let me get back to you. No, let me get a rain check. None of that. If you can't demonstrate this, you're screwed. This is one thing that has to sink in for every single man. So, now here's the cold hard truth about cheating and lying, and men who cheat and men who lie. Women never exit when a man is unapologetic in his actions. Read that one more time. Women never, under any circumstances, exit when a man is unapologetic in his actions. Why? Because it's very hard for women to find alpha strength. It's very hard for women to find men with a backbone. It's very hard for women to find men who don't get emotionally attached. And it's very, very hard for women to find men who genuinely put their own self-interest first. This, you can call this asshole, you can call this arrogant, you can call this cocky, you can call him a prick, you can call him a rebel. I don't give a fuck what label you want to put towards it. Women find that hot. You got to accept the fact, okay? Women never exit when a man is unapologetic in his actions. Now, here's the men, okay? These are the men most likely to have zero sex and get left. You got to internalize this. Men who are loyal, men who are committed to that one girl, men who are honest and don't lie to her, okay? Men who are hardworking, right? You pay your bills on time, you pay your light bill on time, you pay your taxes on time, you're a good stand-up guy, okay? Guys who have high amounts of integrity, okay? Guys who are truthful, a guy who loves her, who takes care of her, who pays for the dates, who's there when she calls and when she needs him. This is the guy right here that she feels is boring as fuck. Now, here's what happens with the cheaters and the liars. The men who cheat and the men who lie, these are the guys who are exciting. These are the guys who run her emotions. These are the guys who seem alpha because he's willing to exercise his sexual selectivity far more than he is willing to put her emotions before what he wants to do. She views this as alpha. Next, the biggest thing with this, the cheater and the liar doesn't comply with social norms, okay? So the social norm right now is to be a good stand-up guy, be a nice guy, you'll be rewarded one day, okay? And be there and be her shoulder to cry on. Since that guy's a rebel and doesn't comply to these social norms, she gets turned on by that. Because now, here's what happens. He looks like he's a successful risk taker. If you act differently than all 100 or 200 men that she met in the past, 90 days or whatever the case may be of however many guys tried to approach her, and you seem different, you now seem to be a successful risk taker. This is extremely attractive to women because this is a good bet for her survival. If you successfully act differently without social repercussions for it or getting yourself hurt or into trouble, she looks at this as alpha. She looks at this as attractive. She looks at this as even potentially like a safety net because you look like you can maneuver and finesse through life differently. She views this as a turn on. These things right here, the things that the cheater and the liar brings triggers hardcore sex appeal. Since it triggers hardcore sex appeal, there is no way around this. I have this in big, bold letters once again. There's no way around any of the things that I'm teaching you on this board. You are going to be told 100 different things from 100 different dating coaches telling you that self-improvement and sticking to your financial path and getting in better shape and all of this stuff is good. And while that is good, it is good to self-improve. You will probably be more attractive. You will probably get a couple more dates under your belt. None of that does anything, and I mean nothing, to keep the attachment, to make sure that that woman is attached to that specific guy. If you want to retain women, So you don't have to consistently get a new girlfriend every 2 weeks. You don't have to consistently re-up and get a new dates. And like, if you want to actually make sure the women that you're dating have high attraction towards you and stay, these are the things you have to do, okay? These are the things right here that the cheaters and the liars bring that triggers hardcore sex appeal. There is no way around this. If Leonardo DiCaprio committed to that one specific girl and broke all of these rules that I'm telling you to listen to, he would be hit with the same things as any other guy. You see this with Dr. Dre's divorce. You see this with Steph Curry. You see this with Jeff Bezos' divorce. Brad and Angelina got a divorce. Channing Tatum and his wife got a divorce. These women exit these relationships because men don't know any better. So I'm not here to tell you that it's weakness. It's not even necessarily, in my opinion, that men are weak. It's the fact that men are just, there's a learning deficit. Men are ignorant to the truth. And there's a big difference. Being weak is not accepting the truth, okay? Being ignorant to the truth and learning and accepting, that's where true wisdom and true masculinity can shine through. So make sure that you actually understand that and not be so hard on yourself. If this is the first time you've received information like this, it's okay to sit in it and marinate in that and accept that for a while. So here's what happens. If the guy gets caught cheating, okay, and he goes, okay, well, the door's right there. I cheated. What are you going to do about it? Door's right there. You're free to go. I don't care. Yep. There's nothing you can fucking do. I cheated. That's the way it is. Doesn't apologize, doesn't backpedal, doesn't go, let me make it up to you. Oh, please don't leave me. I'm sorry. Okay, when you start to lose frame and you fucking backpedal, then you're screwed. But the guy who says, yeah, I did it, what are you gonna do about it? Door's right there, you're free to go. No one's making you stay with me. There's a million other men that would gladly commit and be loyal to you, but she doesn't want that. She wants that one guy's approval. She wants that one guy who's doing things differently to try to not only change him, but to get him to comply at the same level. The second that you do, the second that that guy would, he would be hit with the same things all of the other nice guys are hit with too. So keep that in mind. But the second that he's caught cheating, the second that he's caught lying, if he's able to have the strength to look at her and say, yeah, I did that, what of it? What are you going to do about it? Guess what's going to happen? Is all of a sudden he's going to look strong. He's going to look like he has control of his own life and his own situation. That is attractive to women. So here's the thing. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This is probably one of the most powerful pieces of this whole presentation right here. Women claim today that they hate controlling men. They claim that they hate it. They say, oh, I don't want a guy who's controlling. He's so insecure, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, he's so insecure, blah, blah. Okay, I hate controlling men. Okay, good. Well, in that case, this is reverse control. Reverse control means that it doesn't even exist, and I'm going to show you why. Here's the bad boys, I don't give a fuck attitude. This is reverse control. Meaning if they're going to tell you this, that they don't want a controlling guy, good. We're going to remove all care completely to the point where we are so reverse controlling that they're free to do whatever they want. So here's what I mean by that. When the bad boys, I don't give a fuck attitude says, hey, you're free to go at any time. The door's right there and I don't give a fuck. When the bad boy says, hey, I don't really care about you a whole hell of a lot. I don't really care. You're fun to hang out with maybe for an hour once a week or something. You're fun in bed maybe for a little bit, but I don't really care about you as an individual. When the bad boy goes, you know what? I'll sleep with whoever the fuck I want to as a man because I can, and there's nothing that you can do about it, and that's just the way it's going to go. So if you don't like it, you can exit and the door's right there. When you have that attitude, funny how she stays loyal. So funny how it's funny how she stays loyal then, isn't it? It's funny how every night you get a kiss goodnight. It's funny how you get enchiladas cooked for you, you get pizza cooked for you, you get steak dinners cooked for you. It's funny how she stays loyal when you have that attitude, isn't it? Now let's look at the reverse. Now let's look at the loyal nice guy. I will read for you line by line manipulation. You are going to, in fact, I guarantee you when I read you some of these lines, line for line, just how spot on this is probably going to give you chills. Because this is the truth of what men experience. The loyal nice guy, this guy gets ran through the fucking gutter. Here's what I mean by that. You want to talk about loyalty? If you're going to be loyal to that girl, loyalty you say? Guess what? This is now mistaken for no options, which means now his sexual market value is revealed. And now she goes to the bar or the nightclub and she chases a different guy's approval who actually has other women in his life already, and she's gladly willing to share him. That's number one. Number two, you might be saying, well, Casey, I give dates, I give gifts, I give nice gestures, right? I'm always there to pay on that date. I'm always a sweet guy, right? I'm always there for her. Well, this is now mistaken for insecurities to negotiate attraction. She's going to say, do you really think you have to do that? Do you think you have to buy all these dates? She's going to start to use that against you. That manipulation is going to be looked at as weakness. She's going to now think that you're so insecure that you feel like you have to do these things to negotiate her attraction, to earn her. The second you're put in the frame that you have to earn her is the second that she dissolves the relationship. What about this one? You say, what about providing for a woman? I want to provide for a woman so she doesn't have to work. I want to take that off her plate. I want to make sure that, you know what, I'm a good guy. I want to make sure like I'm the breadwinner, I provide. I'm going to be that stand-up guy that makes it so that way, you know what, she's completely taken care of. Okay, cool. This is mistaken for you now being controlling. And what she's going to do is she's going to use that manipulation back at you, and she's going to say, you know what, you're so controlling and you're so insecure. You're just worried that if I'm out in public, a different guy's going to flirt with me. You're worried that if I go work somewhere, or I'm some manager, I'm some owner, I'm some CEO. You're just worried that now that I'm out in the public eye, you're just controlling and you're insecure because you don't want me to potentially run into somebody who's higher value than you. This is what you're going to get hit with. So here's what I can tell you, okay? She will despise you for treating her well. She will fucking despise you for treating her well. She will hate you. You'll get manipulated and your emotions will get ran through the gutter, all because you expected your logical brain to appeal to her feminine emotions, and they are polar opposite. Everything that you think should work to have a good, healthy relationship on paper is exactly what makes your relationships dissolve. Everything that you are told, whether it be through music, through TV, through whatever the case may be, of your false perceptions of love is exactly why women don't want to commit to majority of men. This is exactly why most women don't respect most men. And this is exactly why your girl probably hates you and is looking at replacing you very, very quickly. So if you understand this, here's the cool thing. You will win. Now, not only will she despise you for treating her well, but then what's going to happen is she's going to go fuck a guy who doesn't. And these are the things that totally destroy most men's relationships. Now, to polish this off, there's two types of men, okay? The first type of men is men who are going to take their losses with women in the past, and you're going to chalk it up to fate. You're going to say, well, she wasn't the one. She wasn't meant to be. I'll find a new one who treats me better. And you're going to stay ignorant to all of the things that I just taught you on today's presentation. That's option one. That's the first type of guy. Those men lack masculinity because a fundamental aspect of masculinity is understanding how to appreciate wisdom, okay? The second group of men is going to be men who are wise. So instead of chalking up your losses with women to fate or that it wasn't meant to be, the guy who actually looks at his losses with women, option two, and he says, you know what, this happened for a reason. This happened because there was a learning deficit. This happened because there was ignorance to information that I did not yet acquire. When you're able to shift those belief sets and move from option one or from group number one over to group number two, and guys who can self-reflect and get ahead and start to make the personality changes. These things are things you can slowly change. These are things you can fix. These are things that you can even change about yourself. And you don't have to feel like you are wearing a mask or putting on a false facade or using things that are not typical to you. This is bullshit that most people do to keep themselves at a lower level and never grow. So if you actually are willing to grow, you're willing to make the changes, okay? If I want to bench 400 pounds and right now I can only bench 275, I'm willing to make the changes in my progression and in my training routine to get there. That's a willing step that I'm willing to take to acquire success. You have to look at your dating life the exact same way. The second you can do that, the second you can self-reflect is the second you win. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.